Speak About It is a performance-based consent education and sexual assault prevention company. We travel to different high schools and colleges and universities, and basically we have a conversation about having a conversation about sex. And we just kind of really hope that we can inspire people to, one, talk about this thing that is going to be a big presence in everyone's life, and then to have some sort of like agency to empower themselves and empower the people around them to really, have a bold and dynamic and full understanding of their own sexuality and the sexualities of their potential partners.
Consent is being able to say yes all the time to everything. So you get to have somebody present a choice to you, whether you want to do something or not, and then you get to say yes to it, which is consent, or no, which is not consent.
We ask for permission all the time. Can I touch your dog? Can I borrow your car? Can I eat this? Consent is just asking for sexual permission, but we don't think about it that way because no one has taught us to think about it that way. So the show shows a very wide range of experiences. We have many monologues throughout the show that we read from note cards. Those monologues are actually stories written by students that have been sent in to us. And they cover everything from gay to straight to somewhere in between, to great sexual experiences, to terrible sexual experiences, to people that want to have sex, who don't, who drink, who don't. We try to cover all across the board because I think so many people get the message that there's really one way that sex works. And by showing this range of experiences, we want to let everyone know that whatever they have encountered in their life, whatever their history is, that it's valid. And whatever choices they want to make, if they're right for them, then they're valid.
Theater's accessible, it's entertaining. Theater can have a conversation that we can't have in person because we're too uncomfortable, or it's hard, or it's foreign. And theater brings it down and finds that place in our hearts where we can access these things that are difficult to talk about.
Here are 3 realities we hope you'll keep in mind. 1, anyone, regardless of who they date or what they wear, can be a survivor. Sexual assault happens when someone's ability to decide whether or not to engage in sexual activity is taken away from them.
2, anyone, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, can be a perpetrator. Sexual assault happens when somebody doesn't get consent.
And 3, we can all play a part in sexual assault prevention.
And that might sound daunting, but there's a lot we can each do to look out for each other at parties or bars.
They really respond to what we have to say to them, and they open up and they give us this really full, beautiful experience back. So I remember one of our earliest shows, and the student came up to us, and one of the other people that was in the tour, she was there the year before, and she's like, "Oh my God, I saw you last year and I was assaulted, and I went and I got help because of you guys, and I started this group on campus because I heard of the things that you were saying to us." And everyone started bawling. We were just all so into it. And I was like, honestly, if this is the only person that we've touched, then my job is done.
I think my favorite part about doing this work is spreading the message of being sex positive. The show does not demonize sex. We don't come from a background of abstinence only, or if you have sex, you'll get pregnant and die.
Just because someone takes their shirt off doesn't necessarily mean they want to take their pants off, too.
Okay, so how do I get their pants off?
I went to a private Catholic school my whole life and never had sex ed. And I know so many people I wish could have seen this show. I wish that this show was at every school. And I want people to know that it's a good thing, that sex and consent and sex culture is a good thing. If we know enough about it and we let it be a good thing.
I'm a virgin. The reason is because I've never been in love long enough to have sex. Honestly, I'd really like to have sex, but having sex with someone you don't love hardly seems worth it. That's why they invented whacking off.
We do hear a lot of disclosures. We do hear a lot of conversations about kind of bad sex, but what's so beautiful about Speak About It is that we really do try to focus on good sex and healthy sexuality. And one of my friends who was with the company for a while, I always refer to him as a well-meaning bro. and I think that he kind of was in that camp, that he was very traditionally just kind of heteronormative and hypermasculine and all these things. And then through Speak About It, through that whole process, it kind of challenged his perceptions, and it changed how he approached certain situations. And now he's as much a consent warrior as any person can be, and is this really powerful advocate for healthy sexuality. So I think that it can help to empower people who have had a negative experience, but can also really help to empower and educate people that have problematic views or very kind of views that aren't quite as nuanced,
I love this work.
I think everybody is talking about sex. Most people are doing it, and no one is talking about it in a way that is talking about healthy sexuality, and that it's okay to be a sexual person. And we're talking about consent in a way that is unique. And selfishly, I love doing this work because I get to work with fantastic educators, and we get to speak with students who are thirsty for this, that no one is talking to 17, 18-year-olds about what it means to have a healthy sexual relationship, that you can be sexually active, and you can enjoy it, and you should enjoy it.
I never knew how to talk about sexual assault. I never knew how. And consent in sex. I was always, sex is something you don't talk about. You don't talk about it. And this has changed me, like, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to speak about it.